Everyone, it's finally here. The ESPN app and ESPN Plus are now on X1 and Flex. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I've heard of ESPN or ESPN2, but what the heck is ESPN Plus? Well, let me tell you, it's sports, it's streaming, and it's all in one place. Oh, you're a soccer fan? It's got you covered with the Bundesliga, Serie A, MLS, and more. Maybe that's not your speed. That's no problem. We're talking live MLB, NHL, college football, and my personal favorite, golf. I watched this year's Masters sun up to sundown, picking my favorite pairings to cue in on. And I even just sat and watched a feed of Amen Corner. Talk about personalization. But I'm a massive UFC fan, and if you are too, you're just in luck because ESPN Plus is the exclusive home for the UFC pay-per-view events. And I'll let you in on a little secret. They offer some special pricing if you're looking to grab a one-year membership alongside a major UFC card. But another key piece of ESPN Plus is the return of extremely popular sports on-demand content. I just finished the Why Not Us series that chronicled the North Carolina Central basketball team and was honestly heartbroken to find out I was out of episodes. But you name it and they have it. Maybe you want to take a deep dive into the award-winning 30 for 30s. Spend a day in Stephen A's world. But maybe you're like me and you love learning and laughing. Peyton's Places has you covered. And speaking of Peyton's Places, I thought it'd be fun to just absolutely steal ESPN's idea and present you with Landon's Lookbacks because it's pretty original. So, as we begin with Landon's Lookbacks, I start with 2017's Mayweather-McGregor super fight. I mean, look, there's a reason why this was such a spectacle. And yeah, I was one of those people screaming for Conor. I wanted so badly to see him waddle around that ring in the money belt, which was actually made from alligator leather and encrusted with 3 pounds of 24 karat gold and over 3,000 diamonds, sapphires, and emeralds. And I'll be the first to admit it, I have no idea what any of that means. But I love this fight because I honestly think it set the tone for the future of pay-per-view. So at number 4, we move on to the Philly special, of course. Now, this one was really special to me because I moved from Philly to North Carolina just 4 days before that Super Bowl. And then I flew back for work just hours right after they won, only to find the city of Philadelphia in absolute disarray and truly reeking of a hangover. Look, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, there's no reason that play should have worked, but it did. And all it really did was, other than win a Super Bowl, drive a wedge in the Philly quarterback room. Half the city still thinks Nick Foles should be quarterbacking there come September, and the other half are still trying to figure out how to climb down from those streetlights. At number 3, and honestly, I think this could be number 1, my dad showed up at school when I was in 5th grade. He had me released early, and he drove to Philadelphia and surprised me with tickets to MJ's final game. I watched my dad cry that day. NBA royalty were all over the court. I mean, Magic Johnson was just driving a golf cart around Philly Stadium. It was pretty neat, and I truly will never forget it. Number 2, which is honestly just another moment in time for me, was the 1999 Women's FIFA World Cup. My mom was pregnant with my little sister that entire summer, and she spent it all laying on the couch watching, and I just physically remember sitting there and watching every game with her. And honestly, I'd throw that Brandi Chastain PK up on Mount Rushmore if it were up to me. But finally, and I know it's one of Gordon's favorite stories, Kobe Bryant's 81-point game comes in as number 1 on my list. So let me set the stage really quick. 14-year-old Landon just sitting downstairs on the family Dell, just refreshing Internet Explorer by the clip, just carpal tunnel coursing through my fingers. Because sadly, this game just wasn't on TV. I mean, there was no ESPN Plus then. But Kobe had 50, 60, 70. And finally, the final buzzer sounds, 81 points. So what do? Like any normal kid would, I'd go running upstairs screaming, Kobe's got 81! Kobe's got 81, everyone! Only to remember that it was my sister's 6th birthday party. And the mad science guy who my parents had hosting the party was singing the happy birthday song with all the kids. But that had to stop. This was much more important. And Will Arnett even told me that this was more important. So I've got a little backup. But yeah, I ruined my sister's birthday celebration and will forever remind her of it till she's done having birthdays. But I honestly think we've all got these moments that stick with us forever. So if you're interested in a couple more of mine, you can grab your X1 remote and say, hang out with Landon to see a few more. Or if you just want to start watching, you can dive right into the action by saying ESPN Plus in your remote as well. So any of you guys, are you watching ESPN Plus? What are you into here?
Now, Landon, I was talking to your sister, and she plans that when your son is born, she's going to run into the room and be like, the Lakers beat the Supersonics.
It would be a good win, and that would be a crazy win because, Gordon, the Supersonics are not even in the NBA anymore.
Oh, they're not? I was going for the Ice Cube joke. It would be a good day, is what I'm trying to say.
You're right. It would be a huge
But
win,
okay,
and I would have had a child a while ago.
There you go. So as we were talking about favorite sports moments, I grew up in St. Louis. I'm a huge Cardinals fan, but my favorite sports moment doesn't come from the 2011 World Series or the 2006 World Series or the 1982 World Series. It comes from the 1988 World Series. Game 1, Dodgers, A's, Kirk Gibson, injured. You know what I'm talking about. Comes up to the plate, hobbling like Tiny Tim, and hits a walk-off home run against Dennis Eckersley. So I'm a baseball guy. Tell me, what does ESPN Plus have as far as baseball goes?
Well, in all honesty, Gordon, you're in luck because the best part about some of those games are the home-and-home broadcasts. So what ESPN Plus has is they've got baseball just about every day of the MLB season, and what they do is they broadcast the home announcers. So you can watch, as a Cardinals fan, you can watch the local Cardinals broadcast and get all those fun facts and celebrations from your local city. It's pretty neat.
Awesome.
What I really like in the world of sports, from being a mom and having someone screaming and having a dog and a toddler yelling all the time and running around and throwing things, Rose can sympathize. She has a child as well. There is nothing like golf, right? To really zen you out. And it's just so quiet and everyone is like peaceful and respectful. And the announcers like speak in a semi-hushed tone. And it really just does what I need it to do. So tell me, Landon, what golf can I watch on ESPN Plus?
Well, Audrey, you'd be in luck as well. Outside of most weekends having some fun coverage, ESPN Plus has some really neat coverage around the majors. So coming up on May 20th through 23rd, they've got some neat coverage of things like featured holes. They've got featured groups, featured pairings. So, hey, you don't want to watch the main broadcast. You can just sit and watch Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas golf and just really find your niche there on that calm afternoon, Audrey,
Will do.
Rose, are you watching anything on ESPN Plus?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm watching UFC on ESPN Plus. I'm so happy that the Mayweather-McGregor fight landed on your top list because I remember that because it's this one skill versus multiple skills and they're coming together in a ring. And for me, because my whole family trains Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I wanted to see what this was like. So I know Conor McGregor mentioned that the endurance that you have to do, he's never been in a ring for more than 25 minutes. There's 5 minutes for 5 rounds when you're going through for a championship fight. And to go the distance with Mayweather, as long as he did, is amazing. But I'd love to see a rematch. I would actually love to see it go the other way around. I know it'll probably never happen, but for someone who trains, knowing that he is suppressing so many of his skills, it's like saying, hey, Michelin star winning chef, you're going to go and compete, but the only skill you can use are your knife skills, right? Like, it just blows my mind. But these are two amazing athletes, and I love UFC. Whenever it's on, I try and catch it. Rose Namajunas, Thug Rose. That's my girl. Love her. She just won. That's her nickname, if you guys don't know, if you think I'm just spewing out words. But yes, it's UFC all the way.
I think Rose just said it all. But yes, ESPN Plus does have the UFC. And while I can't promise that Floyd Mayweather will step into the octagon, I can tell you that UFC 262 is this weekend, and it's exclusively on the ESPN Plus app. So you're just in luck, Rose.
Huh. I'm trying to think if it's possible for Rose and Audrey to have any more diametrically opposed picks for their I'd like something calm and relaxing. And Rose was like, blood, all the blood.
Let's go.
Nope. Oh my God. Yeah. Can you imagine me and Rose in a fight? I would just lay down and be like, nah, done.
Golf versus UFC. It's entirely the same sport.
Honestly, there are similarities. You have to be very focused and mindful of what's in front of you, for real. When someone's choking you out or someone's throwing punches at you, you can't be thinking of anything else. And that goes for any sport. So there is a mindfulness to it. It's calming for some.
Could you imagine a golfer sinking a putt on the 18th hole, just being choked out at the same time? Just a solid arm bar with a driver in his hand. I'm here for it. Rose, look, let's combine all the sports. That's what Rose is here for. ESPN Plus, we may potentially just combine all the sports into one and start streaming.
We might be onto something. We might be onto something.